Hiya folk, just coming on, I'm going to do an altered CD. And as you'll see here, there's one overlapping, and that's because when I join them, there will be an overlap anyway, so I'm not too fussed if it's not fully covered. So I just drew around the disc. One side this paper's cream and the other side's brown. It's going to be a vintage theme, so that's the colours that I'm going for. I don't really like these scissors, but we'll do for now. So I'm just roughly cutting around to get to this part, and then I'll take my time. So just and it will be slightly over anyway, which is fine because I usually sand down round about my discs once I've done them. So just chop that off so I've not got too much playing about with. And I'll keep that in case I need to use any of it later. So just and I'm going to put the dark one behind the light one because I don't want to overpower it. For the back of this, I'm just going to use white cardstock for the other side of my disc because you don't need pattern paper on both sides, it's only one side that's going to be seen. Sorry, I'm not really in shot there. This says it doesn't need to be absolutely spot on because it will be slightly over. And for the white side of my card, I will just use, whoops. And believe me, these are actually old discs, they're not new. They're just ones that I have burnt information on to move to another computer or whatever. And do the same with them. Keep a hold of that in case I need it later. Oh, it's getting itchy nose. It's a bit of a hectic week this week. I've had more family issues with my eldest, and then my sister was taken into hospital with her mental health not being great. She took poorly on Monday night. Was it Monday night? Well, Monday morning. She took not well and she was in hospital overnight just for observation really. And she got home yesterday Tuesday tea time. So Mum and Dad are obviously skipping and bouncing through hoops trying to keep her okay. But without being mean, I think they're really needing to give her some responsibility. She's got far too much time to think of her own mental health and not move from it, if that makes any sense. Because if she's feeling a bit low, she can say to Mum, "Oh, I don't feel grand," and my mum will do everything for her, including look after her daughter, because they obviously still live at my mum's. Which I understand why they do it. Parents do want to look after their kids, but I think under that circumstance they need to be cruel to be kind. Oops. Nearly paused you there. Right, so I'll take my 2 discs. One side, 2 sides, light one, that one. And as I said, I'm not fussed about this wee space here, because that would be getting covered anyway, overlapped with this one. What way I'm overlapping it? Will I overlap dark one to light or light one to dark? No, I was right the first time. Right. Now I'm just going to use this yoo-hoo to put it down. I'll take a wee while to dry, so I'll do these and then I'll come back once they're dry, because I'm not rushing it. It's not a speedy project that I want done in minutes or whatever. I'm quite happy to wait until it's ready to be moving on to the next stage. There we go. Oops. A bit overlap, that's fine. Put it back on. And we're putting the dark side on. So I'm just moving that over enough so that it's covering it. And then just press it down, make sure all the glue goes where it's meant to be going. And I will just give that a good wash down. And for the other side, same again. And if there's anything loose at the corners or whatever, that can be fixed at a later stage. That's not a major issue. That can be sorted. Here. So I don't get my mat all covered in glue, because there's a fair bit on this one. As I said, this is back, I'm not fussed about that. As long as it's covered, it's fine. I'm just going to get around the sides there and make sure that they're stuck down. and it's just a water based adhesive, so if any gets on the front it's fine. Plus I'll be decorating the front as well anyway. So that's fine for me now. That's that one done. Just on both sides. And the next one will go. I haven't really been crafting much this week. I just haven't been, if I'm honest. With all the stuff going on, I've just zoned out slightly. But today I done a dream catcher this morning, which should be uploaded by the time you see this. And although it's a process video, I haven't filmed it all. I've just done the individual wee bits and uploaded it as that, rather than bore you to tears with 10 hours of video. Well, it's not 10 hours, but time's it now? 4 o'clock, and I started at about 10, so it took me a fair bit of time. And I do use a fair bit of this glue because I do want it to stick properly. And this is good quality paper that I'm using, the cardstock. This is, I think, a 200 GSM, which for covering a disc is absolutely fine. The coloured card that I'm using is, I'll get the pad in a minute, it's a stronger one, which is why I'm not fussed about the middles or anything. That, and I'll just see what the card was. That doesn't tell you, does it? No, it doesn't tell you. But it's, I mean, it is it's a hot off the press cardstock, and the colours are quite masculine. So I quite like that one. So I will be back once they are dry properly, and I'll move on to the next part. So thanks for watching, and if you've any ideas for what you think should be on it, just let me know. Thank you. Bye for now.